Looks like she has a final conviction out of Jasper County.
It shows basically that she has been exposed to use alcohol, marijuana, just about every drug you can imagine.
Just lashed out one time because she was angry or mentally ill. She wasn't getting her way. She punched this woman in the face, striking one of our public servants that's out there just trying to help her.
If aren't y'all supposed to be taking care of that? Aren't you supposed to be helping take care of her?
They don't need
Since 8 years of age, ma'am, since 8 years of age, she's been a daily drug user. Ma'am, do you think you could stop a daily drug using for 24 years?
This one is rough to watch because it's messy on both sides. You've got a victim who didn't deserve any of this and a defendant whose life went off the rails way earlier than anybody realized. She's in court for assaulting a nurse, which already tells you how serious this criminal case is. The courtroom vibes are very heavy. The prosecutor is fed up and the defense is trying everything possible to keep her out of prison. But the part that really hits is when you hear what she's been going through and how long this addiction has been dragging her life around. Make sure you watch till the end because things get tense when a family member decides to speak up at the worst possible moment. Let me know in the comments if you think any of her past excuses what she did, because I'm just curious to hear what you guys think on this one. Let's dive in.
We now call Jenna Ray Horn in cause number 25 BCCR289. That's you?
It's like,
Here with Mr. Grove, your attorney and the state's attorney. As you know, you are charged with the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant, which carries with it up to 10 years in prison. Was the defendant entered the plea already?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's not
She entered a plea, yes.
You've entered a plea of guilty to the third-degree felony of assault on a public servant. A pre-sentence report has been prepared, and the parties had an opportunity to review it. Are there any corrections or changes to it? The agreement that you entered into was that whatever sentence shall not exceed a cap of 5 years in prison. So we are looking at no less than 2, nor more than 5 years confinement. Deferred or unadjudicated probation can be assessed. She looks like she has a final conviction out of Jasper County for evading arrest, but she could still get regular probation from the court, but not a jury of slam. Okay, those are your options. Go ahead, Mr. Grove. And
Judge, and this is not a change, it's just something that I noticed on page 2, restitution issues. It says restitution issues, and there are none. I believe there is a restitution issue, but it was not part of the plea bargain and restitution be paid. I'm not objecting to that. I just want to make sure that I'm not waiving anything because I think restitution may be applicable.
I don't show any requested further complaining in the wait, yes, I did. Hold on. Amount of loss. This is not even the right person.
I believe
nothing in my fault.
I believe, Judge, what happened was a letter was sent out by Mr. Giblin saying that, you know, if you have any restitution, send it in or something like that. I have not seen a number.
There's
no restitution.
No restitution.
However, there is restitution involved in the case. Well, just to get into it, because on page
you're talking about the pre-sentence report.
The pre-sentence report, yes, sir.
And that's made a part of the records for all purposes.
Yes, sir. And this is not an objection to that, but that there was an analysis made by the complainant who basically, I guess, said that, talked about how much that this case had changed her, and that now she could no longer work as a registered nurse because of that. And she was having to pay daily records to pay restitution and medical damages from this. There's not a number that's mentioned in here. The probation officer did not put one in.
Miss Ramirez or Melanie Ramirez was.
that's not showing.
They get it from us, Judge, and if we get a request in from the complaining witness, we send out a letter and say, if you have anything, send it to us. And I didn't show anything in my file that
No, but you said the pre-sentence report clearly says she's got medical.
Well, she says she did, but they have to send in something for us to be able to give them out, Judge.
Okay. In addition to the physical and emotional impact this assault has had, I have suffered significant financial loss due to medical bills, missed work, co-pays, etc. as I struggle to work overtime to pay medical bills
I'll double check
and
it.
go to
See if
therapy and heal from the trauma, I have one request from the court. I request the defendant be sentenced to state prison. Violence against public servants cannot be tolerated. And this is, thank you, regards the complainant, registered nurse. Well, something happened there because I'm looking at restitution that
Judge, I know it says that, but like I say, I cannot ask for something I do not have a number of.
all right.
I can't just say generally ask for restitution. I'm looking to make sure in the file that there's nothing there.
Okay. Go ahead, David.
Let me give you a little bit more background on Miss Horn, and I'm going to try to be brief. Miss Horn has suffered from mental health problems, treatment, and services for many, many years. Starting back on page 4 under the substance abuse history, it shows basically that she has been exposed and used alcohol, marijuana, just about every drug you can imagine during the time that she has been treated. This particular
Voluntary use. I'm sorry, voluntary use of the substance.
I don't dispute that. I'm just not say, but I think it's in there. I just want to make the court aware of it.
And you're not asserting she's incompetent or insane.
No, sir. No, sir. I believe she is competent. I just wanted to make the court aware that she does have the history of this usage, although I don't have each individual time or where it was. Now, on this particular occasion, unfortunately, Miss Horn was arrested and taken to the Baptist Hospital Beaumont Neurological Center, where she was treated. Now, the court is aware that's where people that have mental and intellectual problems quite frequently are treated. Unfortunately, this is where the incident occurred. And again, trying to be brief, it shows that she was in pain, told the nurse, Miss Storm, that she was in a great deal of pain and wanted a shot and hit her. I believe it says 4 or 5 times. There was another Baptist Hospital employee who was present who went in to help the nurse. They eventually took Miss Horn off the lady, but she did suffer the trauma as a result of this violence. I mean, it's also clear that I believe from looking at this record and talking to Miss Horn's family, she has been in, I believe, 8 or 9 different mental health treatment facilities, including the Baptist Hospital Neurological Center. Miss Horn is not saying that this didn't happen. She is not saying she is not guilty. But the fact that it did happen, she feels like she ought to pay restitution to Miss Storm, the victim in this case, as well as the other individual who was not injured to as great a degree as I believe Miss Storm was. And yet this is a situation where she didn't have the money. She cannot maintain employment. Doesn't have anywhere else to get the money to pay any of this restitution to Baptist Hospital as well as to the victim. And so I would ask the court to place her on either deferred adjudication or regular probation and order as the primary service that she get employment and pay for this. She also has indicated that she will do anything she can to get help for her problem, whether that includes safety, MIP, anything, if she can just get it, because she's not been able to have any treatment for this problem during her recent history. Not saying this very well, but again, I would ask that the court consider placing her on some type of supervision and not sending her to
Prosecutor really is not playing today, and I honestly get it. He's tired of the whole "we'll pay restitution later" strategy because half the time that money never shows up and everybody knows it. It's just so wild hearing how often people try to buy themselves out of consequences with a promise that sounds good on paper but has no chance in reality. What really sticks out to me is how much the victim in this case already lost. I mean, a career, safety, peace of mind, and there's literally no payment that could fix that. I mean, the judge is listening to all of this, and you can just tell he's trying to weigh accountability against sympathy here, which, to be clear, is not an easy job at all. This kind of feels like one of those moments where every sentence in the hearing matters. But yeah, let's see how the judge handles this buildup.
I really get upset when we start using restitution as a form of making us give somebody probation, and that's just not going to happen in this case. You can see what the complaining witness went through. She did request $5,000 in restitution for lost wages, medical costs, and travel expenses that she had to do during this time. But you've heard that she can't pay that. The defendant cannot pay that. She can't hold a job. She doesn't have the money to do it. But look what she did to this woman. I mean, this is not like she just kicked out or just lashed out one time because she was angry or mentally ill. She wasn't getting her way. She punched this woman in the face. As a direct result of this, the defendant punching me in the face numerous times, causing me to lose complete bladder control, sinus injuries, neck strain, depression, and anxiety. It will take time to heal and to adjust to my new normal in the hospital and a new department after she has dedicated numerous years to working with mental health patients. She said, I've dedicated the last 30 years of my life to caring for patients with complex medical and mental health issues, and this incident has taken away that vibrant spirit I once had. This totally changed her life and her career because this woman decided she wanted a shot instead of what they were doing for her, and she is not in charge. This victim is asking that this defendant be placed in prison, and I'm asking you to place her in prison because she's had numerous chances over the years, and you can see she's even had a probation for evading arrest where she got it revoked and was sentenced to 800 days in county jail. When is she supposed to have asked for help? When she's facing prison time? I think it's time to get her in a place where she can realize the severity of it and not blame everything on some thing she's been blaming it on for years and not getting any help for. Striking one of our public servants that's out there just trying to help her and hurting her so severely and causing her this much anxiety and this much of a change in life. I think that it deserves more than just a walk out of here.
All right. Miss Horn, did you want to say anything? This is your time.
Well, I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to hit her or anything. I was going through something in my head.
Does
It was a bad time.
have anything to do with alcohol or drugs?
I'm a user, but it wasn't that. I felt betrayed. I have voices in my head. Like, I felt betrayed by her.
Have you been a drug and alcohol user for any length of time?
I was feeding for drugs at like 7 years old. It's been passed down. I've been using
It's been passed down like a gift?
No. It's hell. I don't want to do it anymore.
You.
Addicted.
Okay. Well, who caused you to use drugs and alcohol?
My dad was an alcoholic for 28 years.
Ma'am,
My dad was an alcoholic for 28 years.
what about drugs?
Yeah.
Where did you get drugs and alcohol from?
What? Anywhere?
Yeah. The pre-sentence report it is made a part of the record here, and this states that for marijuana, you started at 8 years of age and last used March 26th, I guess, when you were arrested, and you have been using it daily. That's what you told the probation office. Alcohol, you started that at 8 years of age, and you used that weekly until 2 months. Cocaine, you began cocaine at 15 and was a daily user of that. Methamphetamine, this one is one that I kind of asterisked. You began meth at 15, and your last usage was just a couple of months ago on a daily basis. What are you, 34 now?
Listen.
Yeah, almost 20 years, consistent daily use. Then, of course, there was LSD in use at 18, ecstasy at 18, mushrooms at 18, synthetic marijuana daily at 22 years of age. How in the world can you not get some kind of have side effects from using controlled substances since you were, for the last 25 years of your life, since you were 8 years of age? You don't think that's going to have adverse consequences? Of course it does. from what you're saying, you may have very well been in an environment where it was a child of 8 years of age isn't at fault if it's from parents who had bad role modeling.
It wasn't me.
How were you getting drugs at 8 years old, sweetheart?
I had a friend that her sisters.
Giving you marijuana and cocaine and methamphetamine. This is marijuana and alcohol at 8, and then cocaine and meth and amphetamines at 15 years of age. This is terrible. Of course, that's going to lead you to a catastrophic end. And here we are in court. And it says your drug of choice is methamphetamine. What can I wouldn't want that on my certificate of achievement. No, it's just terrible.
Hearing about her history honestly makes this whole situation even more heartbreaking. Like at first I was kind of against her, but when somebody starts using that young, their entire life ends up built on trauma and survival instead of normal development. And it really does show in moments like this. It really does put into perspective how addiction